Hey, this is Derek Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Kenny Endo. Kenny is a Taiko drummer and composer and lives in Hawaii, where he is joining us today via Skype. Welcome, Kenny Endo, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you, Derek. Good to be here.
So great to have you today. It's really great. And I'm so excited to have Taiko represented on the show because this is the first time we've done that. And it's such a special instrument and style. The whole vibe of Taiko drumming is something really cool. I think our audience will really appreciate this. So tell me a little bit about your background and how you got started in drumming and, where you've been musically.
Okay, I started playing drums when I was probably 4 or 5, just on my own, and then started taking just school band in elementary school in the 4th grade. Snare drum, bass drum, cymbals, and in junior high school later got into orchestra and band and started playing drum set and played in some rock groups, and then later got into more jazz, Latin and funk type of bands. And then I didn't start playing Taiko actually till I got into college. So I was in my around 21. But as soon as I heard it, I wanted to do it because it was the sound that you could hear down to your bones.
No kidding. Those drums are kind of big. That's really great. So tell us a little bit about the origin of Taiko and how it came to Japan and culturally how it's significant in Japan.
Yes. Well, historically, they say the drums came from the mainland of Asia, meaning China and Korea, and perhaps even India before that. So you can see drums in especially China and Korea that look just like the taiko that are used in Japan at the present time. As far as legends go, there's a Shinto legend where the sun goddess Amaterasu became angry with her younger brother, and as a result, she hid herself in a cave, and it caused the world to be dark, and all the gods gathered outside this cave and basically had a big party, overturned a barrel, and started dancing, and the curiosity allowed her to come out, and the world became light again. And so a lot of performing arts in Japan, not just music, and not just taiko, but dance and theater attribute their origin to this legend.
That's cool. That's great. Very interesting. So I think you also told me that they use taiko to imitate the sound of thunder in times of drought to bring rain.
Yeah, there's a group called Osuwa Daiko in Nagano-ken, and I actually spent some time with them. But there's a group, the piece they play is called Suwa Ikazushi, and it was used by the farmers in times of drought to imitate the sound of thunder to bring rain for their crops.
That's so great. That's so cool. I would love to go to our first video, and this video is you and your group playing outside, and it's wonderfully athletic, and people are doing all this great stuff. Do you want to say something about this performance?
Yes, this is a piece called Tatsumaki, and it was composed by Hiroshi Tanaka, one of our former members, and it's a very exciting piece.
I'd say. Let's go to it right now. All right, we are back with Kenny Endo, Taiko drummer and composer, we're joined with him now in Hawaii. So this is fantastic. So I just love that video. It's so great. It shows one of the things I love about Taiko was it's so dramatic and expressive and athletic at the same time, right? So now you work with a bunch of different groups in throughout your time. Tell us a little bit about the kinds of different musicians you work with.
Yeah, I do collaborations. One of them that I work on is called Island Breeze. It combines Hawaiian slack key guitar with Japanese shakuhachi, which is a bamboo flute, and taiko. There's another group that I play with called Uncommon Time, and that combines Indian tabla with Afro-Latin percussion and taiko. And there's another one here in Hawaii with jazz musicians called Rhythm Summit. And one person plays drum set and vibraphones, and the other one plays acoustic bass and electric bass, and I play the bamboo flute and taiko. So I'm just interested in all these different possibilities, and I think any type of collaboration is possible. Just all the parties have to be really open to whatever may happen.
Yeah, well, you are a perfect guest for my show, for the World Fusion Show, because you are doing it, apparently, all the time with your collaborations. That's fantastic. So what is the source of your inspiration in music? Who are some of your favorite musicians and composers?
Well, I get a lot of inspiration from nature itself. A lot of the sounds we use, say in the kabuki theater in Japan, actually imitate the sounds of nature or different placing you in a geographic area. As far as musicians and composers, I really love the work of Yo-Yo Ma, the great cello player, of jazz pianist Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
As a composer, I love Joe Beam.
One of my favorites too, actually.
Because I love Brazilian music as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I'd love to go to our second video. And this is a collaboration that you did with some Indian dancers. Do you want to say a little bit about it, please?
Sure. This was a work called Quiet Fire, and the choreographer was Parijat Desai, who has a background in Bharatnatyam, which is Southern Indian classical dance, as well as modern dance. And we did this in 2001 in Los Angeles.
That's great. Okay, let's go to the video right now. Okay, we are back with Kenny Endo. So great to have you. Another really cool video and interesting world fusion collaboration with the Indian dance, which that's not a very normal combination of world music styles to put together, right?
Yeah, it was a interesting collaboration, and we took traditional. They're called jati or rhythms, and I transposed those for taiko, and then added some melodic sections as well as other instruments.
That's great. So I wanted to ask you if you want to share any stories or unusual collaborations or things that you might want to share with our audience.
There was an interesting collaboration I did in Japan a few years ago, where we were playing. It was actually for a ski event, and we were the stage was a huge block of ice. I mean, it was a natural ice, and so they provided all the musicians with these down jackets, and it was freezing, but it was a lot of fun too. The great trumpeter Teramasa Hino from Japan was also there, so it was a fun collaboration. But going to countries like India or Brazil and being able to perform my music there has been really inspiring to me, and being able to meet these musicians from all over the world.
Yeah, so I'm sure you are influenced in your own compositions by some of these collaborations and musicians that you work with.
Yes, definitely. Of course, my base is Japanese music, and I do have a background in Western music, but I'm really into the types of world music from all over, from Cuba, Brazil, from Asia, Indonesia. There's such a wide variety and rich palette of sounds out there.
Yeah, that's true. I'd love to go to our third video right now. And this one is called Spirit Sounds, and you're playing with the various people. Can you tell us a little bit about this video we're going to see?
Yeah, Spirit Sounds is one of my earlier compositions, which I composed for the odaiko. Now, these the word odaiko means large drum, and these drums are traditionally carved from a single tree trunk. So sometimes the tree had to be hundreds of years old to get a drum that big.
Yeah.
But basically this piece was about putting your mind, your body, and your spirit all together and trying to communicate with the spirit that is still alive in those instruments, because they're made with natural materials, the wood from trees and the skin from cowhide.
Yes.
So it's a constant challenge to communicate and do justice to that beautiful instrument as well.
I'd say, thank you, that's really great. Let's go to this video right now and watch it. right, we're back with Kenny Endo, our Taiko drummer and composer. And we're talking to him today in his home in Hawaii. So I wanted to ask you, Kenny, what are your goals for your music, more about your vision for your music, and any upcoming projects that you have planned?
Yes, I guess, next year, 2020, will be my 45-year anniversary of playing taiko. We have several projects and tours planned. My goal is always to create music that is not just to entertain people, but can actually, have an impact somehow on the world. I once went to a Ravi Shankar concert, and the music was so beautiful and inspiring, and I thought if the world leaders could open up their hearts to it, that we could somehow work things out. And a very naive thought, but that the feeling of that I got in that concert has never left me. And always my goal to create music that has that effect on people and it is at that level.
Yeah, thank you. That's really great. I just want to say thank you so much, Kenny Endo, for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been just great to have you and have you share your love of taiko and rhythm and your vision for your music. And I think our audience will be greatly appreciate the taiko drumming and everything you're bringing. I'd like to extend a big thank you to our sponsors for the show, also Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust and Dean's Beans. And actually, we're going to go to the part of the show now where you and I will get to play together via the magic of the internet. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Thank you so much, Kenny.
Thank you.
All right, great. All right, this is Derek Jordan. Thank you for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you, and we have so many great shows coming up. Please subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, check out our podcasts on iTunes and SoundCloud, and remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.
Bye.